Porn. It's a thing. In fact, it's one of my favorite things. Probably makes my top 10 of favorite things at the very least. Now, who can we blame for this? Because clearly I'm not the type of person to take accountability for my own actions. So I say we place the blame on my parents. See, it was my parents who unknowingly, bless their little hearts, made porn so easily accessible to me. One day I'm diving off the couch to perform a perfectly executed top rope elbow onto my wrestling pillow. Look ahead on the floor, and what do I see? An inconspicuous box underneath my parents' bed. See, the way our crib was set up back in the day, my parents' bedroom was right next to our family room. So while me and my sisters in there chilling, we can walk right into my parents' bedroom. Anyway, me being a little nosy ass nigga that I was, later when the time was right, I grabbed said box and start filing through it, and I see that it's filled with about 5 or 6 VHS tapes, all with curious titles. I pulled out the one labeled Black Chicks, and the rest, as the kids say, is history. I'm joking mostly, but I'm 100% serious as fuck. If this wasn't my very first porn experience, it was definitely among the first. Let me tell you about Black Chicks. It's definitely one flick that stood out so prominently that I remember it more than 30 years later. Especially that theme song. It's so jazzy and catchy. It goes like, Black chicks love big dicks, and everybody loves black chicks. Straight up, that's the song. I'm not bullshitting. Okay, now what the storyteller in me truly appreciates about vintage porn in general is that every single flick that you ran across had a plot. Some of these flicks were fleshed out storylines that pretty much played out like traditional classic movies, of course with graphic sex in them. I mean, they weren't the greatest storylines, but they were far deeper than the striptease heavy gonzo style productions that are so popular today. Let me tell you about Black Chicks took a more simplistic approach to storytelling. If I recall correctly, the film was centered around 4 or 5 black maids. They're sitting around the crib swapping tales about their sexcapades, primarily with white men. In that respect, I guess you can say this movie was sort of groundbreaking considering that interracial porn was very taboo back in those days. One story they told was actually about another chick who wasn't there in the circle. To paraphrase one character, she was like, "Child, they fucked her in her ass and pussy. I ain't fucking with them white boys." Classic dialogue. And if I remember correctly, it ended in an epic orgy where all 4 or 5 of the maids start lezzing out and getting it on with each other. Giggity, giggity, goo. Now, like most vintage porn, in my personal opinion, this one doesn't hold up very well to modern day standards. Of course, I haven't seen this shit since I was a kid. I just know these things. While a lot of things suck today, one thing that only gets better with time is porn. You can not only attribute this to improved video standards, but I don't know, I guess we have a larger variety of females. They thicker, they're more did up with the makeup, they're less bushier, etc., etc. With that said, this flick clearly made quite the impression on me, and it's one that I will probably remember until I start forgetting about the other essential facets of life. It's a classic. So if you like vintage porn or you just want to laugh at some old shit, check out Let Me Tell You About Black Chicks. Peace.